United Kingdom Special Forces selection is selection for the SAS and SBS. Special Air Service, which is the Army Special Forces, and the Special Boat Service, which is the Navy Special Forces.
So this is like another level up from the...
Yeah, this is... I thought it was, when I was in the Marines, I thought it was the next level up, but it's a whole different world. So say, for example, you're a sergeant in the Marines and I'm a Lance Corporal in the Marines. I passed the selection process before you. I'm then senior to you.
Okay.
Because your rank gets stripped right back down to trooper. Because it's such a different organisation. You're working with CIA, MI5, MI6, all these different intelligence agencies, all these different secret services, and you're basically gathering intel and putting a package together to go out and take out or arrest HVTs, high value targets.
Okay. And just for context as well, Dutch, for people thinking, well, why is Stas a sniper or demolitions, and why is Louis a fucking medic and doing surveillance? And when the way that the kind of squadrons are made up, again, without going into too much detail, the guys are absolute force multipliers. You're like a fucking Swiss Army knife of an individual, and you're constantly training, retraining, and we're swimmer canoeists. We dive, operationally dive to targets. We can all parachute. I was in mobility troop. I think Louis was the same. So each troop, we've got different troops, and mobility is everything vehicle orientated. That's a big kind of army up armored vehicles. We have to understand the vehicles, instruct on them, know how to operate them, drive them, all the way down to a quad and a motorbike, and all the different in-service vehicles. And then within that, you've got your patrol skills. So I was demolition. So think blowing the fucking doors off places and allowing guys to get entry into the various different complex buildings or compartments. And then again, everybody's trained to a high level of a medic, but Louis was that next level of medic. So you imagine we're out on the ground, we're a small footprint of people, maybe 40 to whatever, however many people, but each guy there can call in, other people can call in fucking fast air and jets. You've got people that are trained to a high level if people are injured. You've got people that can, demolitions. You've got people that can shoot. Everybody's a shooter first and foremost. You're an assaulter, a building assaulter guy, but you have specialist skills, and they really complement the whole group. And this bubble that you're in it's phenomenal. You are absolutely, force multipliers.
Those 30 guys on that first season got absolutely goosed to within an inch of their lives. It was brutal.
That's because you don't know what you do. They don't really know the boundaries.
We were like, fucking, here we go. Literally, mate, honestly, there was fucking ambulances all over the place. What it looks like is real, but it's not like selection. It's not, it's nowhere near like selection. Selection's like 6 months long.
Yeah.
There's a lot more going on. There's a lot more to take on board and try and, learn and, adapt to. But the show, it's intense. Don't get me wrong, it is super intense.
Is there any contestant you've had across all the seasons you've done that would have actually made it in the real?
There's, I don't know, it's really difficult to sort of know whether someone would have. There was the two guys that finished the very first season, I genuinely believe they would have been great guys in the military. It was a complete experiment. We didn't know what we were doing, i.e. TV wise. The people that made it did, but we were just like, well, and we just they got hammered. Those 30 guys on that first season got absolutely goosed to within an inch of their lives. It was brutal.
That's because you don't know what you do. They don't really know the boundaries.
We were like, fucking, here we go. Literally, mate, honestly, there was fucking ambulances all over the place.
The psychological warfare alone and the techniques that we use to eradicate the enemy, second to none. Sometimes most of the time you don't even need to press the trigger. It's using their own technology against them, using their own system against them, using their own people against them. And it is, people talk about psychological warfare. We can go in all day long, kick doors down, take out HVTs, and do that with my eyes closed. Done it for 2 complete tours. But the psychological warfare behind collecting intelligence, the psychological warfare about getting one up on the enemy, it differs from hearts and minds to really infiltrating and penetrating their network.
Again, everybody's trained to a high level of a medic, but Louis was that next level of medic.
Yeah.
So you imagine we're out on the ground, we're a small footprint of people, maybe 40 to whatever, however many people, but each guy there can call in, other people can call in fucking fast air and jets. You've got people that are trained to a high level if people are injured. You've got people that can, demolitions. You've got people that can shoot. Everybody's a shooter first and foremost. You're an assaulter, a building assaulter guy, but you have specialist skills, and they really complement the whole group. And this bubble that you're in it's phenomenal. You are absolutely force multipliers.
The hardest place to be a soldier is fucking Wales.
Really?
Yes.
Elaborate.
And the reason for this is, like, everyone says, who produces the best soldiers, and it's the Brits. Fact. And the reason for that is you just got to look at our training areas. They're cold, they're wet, they're miserable, they're muddy. It's not like you go to Norway where it's really cold, but it's clean, and it's crisp, and it's dry cold. You go to the desert, yes, it's hot, but it's dry. You can operate as long as you know how to look after yourself. The jungle's a slightly different kettle of fish, but when it comes to being cold, wet, and miserable, Wales or the UK in general, we're in the middle of probably one of the worst summers we've had in a long time. That's why they push out the best soldiers, because we as Brits go out and that's our backyard.
I joined at a time in the height of war and terror. It was the busiest time in Special Forces history, so we were very fortunate to do the first ever operational jumps with the SBS. We were rescuing hostages off the east coast of Somalia. We're diving on cartel boats, literally ticking a lot of boxes in a short period of time, where a lot of your peers before then would probably be waiting years for that opportunity. So for me, I didn't really look beyond the military, and that's all I wanted to do. But unfortunately, I had a parachuting accident after 16 years. I was doing a hey-ho jump, high altitude, high opening, and done a number of these jumps, hundreds of these jumps before, and we were just 2 weeks before deploying back to Afghanistan, and Sergeant Major said, well, you guys can do some fun jumps. And I never believed there's such thing as fun jumps or fun dives. So it was the third jump of the day, I think, third or fourth of the day, exited the aircraft, and as I looked up, I was actually looking towards my feet, which were caught in the lines above my head. So my first worry was trying to clear my leg in time before the parachute opened. I couldn't, and my leg got pulled over my head and to my right, and straight away with the pain I was vomiting, and at 15,000 feet you're on the limits of oxygen, so I was also drifting in and out of consciousness, but conscious that I had to land this, and I only had one good leg to do it on.
And this is a free fall rig, just for the listeners who don't know. Free fall rig. Your leg is still in the lines?
So no, this is a static line rig. This is so it's not a free fall. So you exit the aircraft at 15,000 feet on a static line.
Okay.
And the purpose of it opens straight away, so it gives you maximum travel time through the air. So you can travel up to 30 minutes or 50 kilometers to the target area.
It's a rectangular canopy.
It's a rectangular steerable canopy.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
And so the line got caught above me. So my worry was I need to clear it before the actual parachute opens, because there's going to be an extra pull.
Yep.
And I didn't clear it, and it whipped my leg over my head and to the right. And I landed it one-legged. It was a great landing, probably one of my best landings.
I have so many questions on this thing.
Yeah, we called the medic over. Yeah, tore my ACL, MCL, lateral meniscus, my hamstring, my calf, and my quadricep. So all those supporting muscles which you would need, they'd gone as well. So my unit went off to Afghan, and then I started my whole rehab, but unfortunately it was too much damage, and I had to leave the military. So it wasn't something I planned for. For me, I was a career soldier. I'd still be in now until the age of 55.
I must have been probably 26, 27 that I did the first Special Forces selection. I actually failed on my first one, so I got a stand-up fail. So it means that you've done the whole course, get all the way to the end, and for whatever reason they turn around and go, look, you're not good.
You're joking, mate. That is brutal.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
How long was that course?
I think it's 9 months, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So, and you know what? When I look back on that, it's like all of the failings I've ever had. I always look at them and I go, that's made me who I am today. Yeah. So I'm actually thankful for that. Although, albeit, like I do feel like I was partly done wrong by, but that is the way that it goes. You know, we'll probably come on to talk more about that Special Forces selection process, but it's fucking brutal. Yeah. You know, so, and you know, you might get to the end and you might be all singing, all dancing soldier. You're going to get stand up for whatever reason. So stand up failed. So yeah, it was a real low part in my life, and I do look back on it now, and I was fucking in the depths of hell. You know, it's like I was a broken man. After coming out of the jungle, I had all sorts of like worms and stuff crawling inside my skin, and it's like I was obviously so deflated by the fact that I thought I'd done enough to pass, and I was on my ass. And I got told not to come back for 2 years, and I mugged it off, and I said, no, I'm coming back on the next one. So I put my ass on the line again, and then did that second selection process, and I smashed it. So and then I spent probably, I think it's 7 years. You're going to have to correct us if we're wrong on some of these years, because I get lost in it. But I think it's 7 years in the Royal Marines, 7 years in Special Forces.
There was me and a few lads decided for some reason on a weekend that we had spare. This is a few years ago now. We were like at a loose end. Should we just go and do a bit of paintballing? So there's 4 of us rocked up, and there's like loads of people. And we ended up, we were like, right, we'll do this properly. We're going to, like, once we go into the sort of zone, we're going to do fire and manoeuvre, take cover, all this. And we ended up doing a proper assault on this dug-in position.
A bunch of 13?
Yeah. Literally stood over them, like literally showered them. They were like crying and everything.
Out of ammo, smashing their heads in.
Like a scene from Platoon.
I always believed that I'd be coming back off that patrol. I always believed that, you know, if we did get into a firefight, that, you know, we'd be okay. I never allowed that to creep in, because I've seen it creep into people's heads, and I've seen it take them out. Grown soldiers from the army, you know, waking up and being in tears because it's their job to minesweep out the base. You know, they have to clear the area, minesweep before, you know, because obviously at night, even though they've got sentry positions all over, the enemy will come in, dig in IEDs, and knowing that you've only got 2-3 patrol routes that you're going to use, and come out, boom, and then clack them off. So, yeah, when I was in the Special Forces and I went onto these fobs at night, you know, so I've chatted to young men who were just in tears because his mate got blown up that day in front of him, and he's like, tomorrow it's my time to minesweep. I'm just like, listen, don't take it personally. It is what it is. And these are young 18, 19, 20-year-olds who